Today's video will explain how to access the joystick type menu, as well as provide an overview of joystick types that our MOBA Duo control panel supports. To access the joystick type menu, press the menu button and using the AUX buttons, scroll down till you get to the joystick type option, then press the enter key. From a submenu, you'll be able to scroll down to select the correct joystick that is connected to your Duo panel. The different types of joysticks which our panel supports are Auto manual stick, which uses a toggle switch for hydraulic activation and another toggle switch for auto and manual selection. Proportional toggle stick, which works in the same manner as proportional mini stick, with the only difference being the power supply and signal out levels differ to accommodate Danfoss type proportional joysticks. When using the proportional mini stick mode, the hydraulic up and down activations for a given side are located on the same axis on the joystick handle. Hydraulic activation is proportional to handle position and includes 3 buttons for switching between auto and manual. Proportional mini stick and mast, which is used optionally with a mast, functions the same as a proportional mini stick, with the difference being that one of the buttons moves the mast by preset discrete step amounts. When using the side mini stick mode, hydraulic up and down activations for a given side are located on an axis 90 degrees to each other on the joystick handle. Hydraulic activation is proportional to handle position and allows you to move the blade manually, as well as allowing up to 2 auxiliary outputs to control certain functions such as side shift or blade rotation. Side mini and AUX stick functions the same as side mini stick mode, with the only difference being one of the buttons on the joystick activates auxiliary 1-up, which can be used to activate an oil diversion valve. Mast offset stick is used optionally with a mast and provides a means to move the mast by preset discrete step amounts. Moving on to skid steer auto manual, which allows our MOBA Duo panel to connect to the buttons of a skid steer joystick via a 14-pin connector on the outside of the cabin to control up and down movements, as well as auto and manual functions. In this mode, when the AM button is held for 3 seconds, it changes the joystick button function to auxiliary mode. In auxiliary mode, the button functions are as follows. Right up becomes AUX 2 up. Right down becomes AUX 2 down. Left up becomes AUX 1 up. Left down becomes AUX 1 down. To change back to normal hydraulic mode, press and hold the AM button for 3 seconds. In skid steer auxiliary mode, when the AM button is held for 3 seconds, it changes the button function to auto/manual mode. To change back to auxiliary mode, press and hold the AM button for 3 seconds. Skid steer AM and skid steer auxiliary are very similar. The key difference being the skid steer AM mode initially controls the hydraulics movements, while skid steer auxiliary mode initially controls the auxiliary movements. Moving on to multi-mode side mini, which has 3 operational modes for the joystick: standard, auxiliary, and reference. Standard mode works in the same manner as side mini stick and controls the main hydraulics. Auxiliary mode controls the auxiliary hydraulics, and finally reference mode controls the reference values of the connected sensors. And finally, the multi-mode scraper, which works in the same manner as proportional mini stick and is typically used for tow behind blades.